So we're going to pop in Deidre Watson, the head coach of the Liberty girls basketball team. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
No problem. Glad to be here.
How we doing today, Coach?
I'm doing good. Kind of a rainy day, but excited to be here. Excited to be alive.
Coach, looking at your team this year, what we always like to start off with all of our area coaches, we want to kind of do a meet the team segment. And we know this is going to be a tough conference for you this year, but I think this is going to be a fun team to watch. So why don't we meet some of the big impact players and some of the younger players that you think are going to have an impact this season?
Okay, great. Well, returning starters we have are Demi Watson and Sienna Smith and Aaliyah Foster. Those were a big three last year, and they they led all categories in scoring, steals, blocks. They were kind of doing it all for us there. We also have returning Mia Parker and Kylie Thompson. So I think we have 5 good returning starters, and in addition, we have another player, Jordan Banks. She was with us our freshman year, and she's returning here for our senior year, so she's also going to make a strong impact for us this year.
Coach, a lot of your younger players got some experience last year because of injury or other things, and they kind of got thrown into the pool a little bit, probably a little bit earlier than you would have liked as a coach. What will last year's experience and varsity time mean to this year's team as far as development and growth in the game?
You can already tell just for the first beginning half of practice. I'm going to say the first 2 weeks, you could tell they matured a lot more. They understand what it takes to work now, and you just can't get that without having that varsity experience. So, it might have been hard for them. They might have faced a lot of adversity last year. This year, it's going to do well for them.
Coach, talk about navigating your way through this very, very tough conference that you're going to have to face. No doubt it's going to be competitive every night. We think you're going to be towards the top, but obviously we know any given night anybody can pull off a victory. So talk about this schedule and how you think it's going to prepare you for the tournament.
If I look back, I remember when we hit the district final that year. We'd only won 15 games, and so most schools looked at us like they're going to be okay. But we had a tough season, and so that just prepared us for the tournament. And again, this year we have some powerhouses. We have Garfield that's entered our conference this year, and then there's Brookfield. Champion Newtonfields are always chock full of talent and well coached. So I like that our tournament is tough. I like that our conference is tough because it just prepares us that much more for the tournament. And as far as Division III, I think that we have the toughest conference around the area.
Coach, last year your team was a team that was able to make a lot of big scoring runs, but then unfortunately give up the big scoring runs as well. And we saw a lot of up and downs in your games last year. What kind of things this year, in the summer and now in the couple weeks of practice that you've had them, have you tried to kind of nail that down and only be, you guys scoring big scoring runs instead of trying to be up and down during a game?
Yeah, that's all about mental toughness. I always tell my girls that basketball is a game of runs. Typically a team makes a run and then the other team comes back and makes another run. And then we make a run. It's back and forth, and it's being able to withstand those runs and mentally being able to accept the challenge. And that's what we worked on this summer. Our girls were pretty young last year. And so it seemed like when a team made a run on them, they got defeated. And I see a lot in practice. They're starting to rally back in scrimmages. I like when we're down because then it's let's rally back, and they're starting to respond to it. So that's a part about being mature enough and having that mental toughness to have what it takes to, advance further in this.
Looking at this team, what is sort of the part that you're most excited for? In other words, if anybody's on the fence, come out and watch this team this year, what is the sales pitch to come out and check out the Leopards?
Oh, I think we got some glitch gremlins.
There we go. They have it here every day. The glitch gremlins always attacking Wi-Fi. Oh, now we have another coach.
It's me. I'm back.
All right. I'll re-ask the question, Coach. Looking at this team, what do you think the sales pitch is going to be? So if anyone's on the fence of coming out and seeing the Leopards, what's the sales pitch to come out and check them out?
Well, I'll say this. We are exciting to watch. We have some athletic girls that can do some athletic things that, I'm shocked and amazed by. There's a couple of times that I'm like, oh, wow, you can do that. But also we're tough and we're gritty and we're going to fight back. If we're down by 10 or 15, we're going to keep fighting until we win. Just a different mentality this year, and it's palpable in the gym, and I'm excited for it.
Coach, I said it before. I'll say it here. I think you're one of the funnest coaches I've ever seen on the sideline. Just the energy you bring to the team, and you try to get out to your girls when you're at a game day and you're trying to kind of get yourself ready. What's your game day experience like, and what kind of gives you that energy to kind of give to your team?
It's funny because I hate being bothered before the game with minor details. I hate little questions. So my players always know to just give me a minute, let me think about things. But come game time, I like to give them energy. I notice that the more energy that I have, the more energy that they have. I'm going to give them everything that I have, and hopefully they'll give me everything that they have in return.
That obviously comes from you trying to create a culture there at Liberty, and it's a good one, I think, as well, if I may give you a compliment on that. Going into that, what do you think that the culture that you've tried to build, what do you think it means to be a Leopard to you and what you've tried to build there?
More than anything, it's just about family. I want the girls to know that they are supported on and off the court. If they need something, I'm always there to help them out. But, more than basketball, it's just about winning at life. And so, we love to win basketball on the court, but I want my girls to go on to be successful. My players that graduate, I always reach out to them. If they're college graduates, I like to give them a graduation gift, and just reach back and just say, hey, I see that you're winning in life. You're successful. And I'm glad to be a part of that. So it's all about family at Liberty.
And all that being said, what are some lessons that you kind of like to implement into your girls off the court that you hope that when they graduate from your program, they can look back and say, I learned this, or I got this from my time with the Liberty girls basketball program?
The most important thing I try to teach them is that nothing is given. You got to work hard for it if you want it. And so that's just the biggest thing. It's just about working hard, grinding hard. If you say you want something, then put the work behind it. And the results will come. Nothing is easy. I always tell them, like, you look at Steph Curry and you look at LeBron James, but they don't put in 20 minutes in the gym. They're putting in constant time in the gym. And so if you want something, you work hard for it. Now, don't get me wrong. It's good to have connections and to build good rapport with people, but be ready for it. When your numbers call, you want to be ready. You want to be prepared.
Coach, we always like meeting the team, but we also know every coach has a great staff that's there to support them. So I want to give you the opportunity to shout out your assistants and some other big names in the Liberty girls basketball program.
Sure. Well, my main assistant is my husband, Derek Watson, and I kind of dragged him along for the ride. So I want to give major kudos to him. He hears it day in and day out. Don McKinney, he's my assistant JV coach. He provides great energy for the team. He's a great voice of reason. We have a volunteer, Mark Thomas, and Mark is great with the team, great at building rapport. And then we have Dr. Lena Eshmael. She is our go-to for everything. If you have an injury or anything like that, she's there on the sidelines with us. She's also there to provide great advice for the girls. So that's my core coaching staff, and I couldn't do it without them.
And then talking about, obviously you can't build a program without the youth programs and the middle school programs. What kind of things do you like to implement at Liberty to get the kids involved as early as possible and to get them ready once you get them as freshmen?
Well, it's funny. I started out in the youth program. I started coaching 4, 5, and 6. Started out coaching my own kids and helping to build a program there. And after I moved up to the varsity ranks, I've been fortunate to have Elaine Jacobs take over that program. And it's just about building blocks. When we start a little bit younger, it's more about having fun for them, getting them to get fundamentals like dribbling, shooting, things like that. But more importantly, getting them to like the game. I feel like if you like the game, then you'll have some longevity there. So we do fun things. We have our youth program attend varsity games, and we give them a chance to kind of play at halftime, and just have them kind of buy in and see how fun it could be. And so that's what we just try to build a bond there. We also have our varsity players reach back and go out and teach the younger kids a few things. And so it's a win-win for both programs.
My final question for you, Coach, looking at how competitive this conference is going to be in the MVAC, what is it going to take from this team to get a piece of that MVAC crown at the end of the season?
I mean, every game that we have to come in and play. It's truly a conference that's up for grabs. And at the end of the day, it's going to be about who wants it most. And so we have to go in prepared, having a great mental attitude and just fighting to the end. Hopefully we'll come out on top.
Coach, we know that you're going to be a very successful program this year. We look forward to covering you all season, and we also look forward to talking to you again real soon as the season goes on.
All right. Thanks. I look forward to it.